Alright, hello. This is Eddie. I'm here with Nekofrog, and we will be commentating on the games from the OCReMix Starcraft tournament. It's the first tournament of its kind being run by Garion, and so we're going to take a look at some replays from the games that were played this past week.
You ready?
Go for it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, here we are. We have Nekofrog saying good luck and have fun. He is the orange Zerg who's at the 5 o'clock position, and his good-mannered opponent is SynthStampede, the brown Protoss at the 1 o'clock position. The map is Taucross, which is a 3-player map, and the Overlord that Neko starts with is going to be going in the wrong direction, so he's going to be scouting his opponent a little bit later.
As if I could have known that.
So what were your
I've
thoughts going
actually...
into this game here?
Well, my thoughts were I have no idea how my opponent is going to play. I've never encountered him or her before. His skill level is completely unknown to me, so I'll just use one of my own standard builds, which is not a standard build, but it gets the job done. And in terms of color, I always thought the orange Zerg looked best.
Alright, well, we'll see if the color matters in terms of the outcome of this game. Taucross being the map for the first game of this best of 3 series, and I'm not quite sure what the other maps are. I think they're Chipungryung and Python?
Python. Yeah, it's Python. I just
Okay,
call
so
it the Korean map that I can't pronounce.
I don't even know what it means. I think it's like Neo Harmony or something like that. Okay, so we see that Neko is at 12 of 17 supply, and he's looking like he's getting ready to put down a hatchery at his natural expansion. Meanwhile, the Protoss is warping in his first gate.
Now, when I was playing, you'll notice I did send that Overlord in the wrong direction, and an even bigger mistake than that is I have a second Overlord sitting in my base doing absolutely nothing for me, which is something you generally do not want to have happen.
Right. But his probe has found your base and seems to be harassing your drones, but now you're harassing his probe, and he's not doing a very good job of getting any information off of you, really.
Well, he's aware that I've gone for a fast expansion, so that at least can come as some consolation to him.
That's true, and we see up here the Protoss is warping in his second gateway and a gas. And it looks
And he's
like
already in the process of making a Zealot.
That's right, he's got 2 Zealots coming. Have you played many games where you face a sort of 2-gate pressure from the early Zealots?
The number of games where I've faced a Protoss opponent, I can count on 2 fingers, so the answer to that question would be no.
Okay. Here we see Neko is going for a spawning pool and an extractor. He's going to get his units coming out here pretty soon. Still scouting. He's looking for his Protoss opponent, but he won't find him up here at the 11 o'clock position.
Reflecting on that, the fact that I've faced so few Protoss opponents, I guess going into the game I had really no idea what I was going to do other than just something standard. In terms of deflecting, like right here, he's just sent a Protoss into my base, or a Zealot, excuse me. It looks like he's going to do some scanning. And he's going, yes, he's trying to take out that creep colony before it becomes a sunken.
Now, it looks like he warped in a cybernetics core after his 2 gates, but he got a little bit supply blocked, and he's only just now gotten his second pylon up. And he's not producing anything right now, and from the looks of it, he's only got about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 probes, compared to your, what is that, 22, 21 or so drones, which is pretty big difference already.
That's going to make a big difference in terms of the economy. At some point, unless he gets more probes, his push is going to get slower and slower until he just can't sustain it anymore.
And meanwhile, while Neko is trying to defend his natural expansion, it looks like he's also put a hatchery down at this 11 o'clock base. And it's just now finishing. So what is your plan right now in the game at this point? Do you remember?
Yes, at this point he was pretty heavily putting pressure on my natural expansion, and it was my goal just to do whatever I could to defend that. But at the same time, I also believed that it was okay to sacrifice that should I have to, because he was completely unaware of my second expansion in the upper left.
Alright, looks like we have a confrontation here between his zealots, his slow zealots, and your slow zerglings.
He's actually microing his zealots pretty well because he's able to take out many of my zerglings without me doing much to him.
And now here comes a probe who looks like he might want to get on the action. And now the zealots have committed to an attack here, and the zerglings are getting wiped out.
I'm not absolutely certain that I agreed with him pulling those 4 back. My zerglings were just seconds away from melting.
Well, you're going to have to do something about it pretty soon here because that hatchery's at half-life now, and he's got zealots wailing away. But wait.
It looks like to the north I have sent a retaliatory force. Oh, they've been intercepted. He knows they're coming. But he's not using attack move. They just ran right by his zealots without them taking any notice.
What probably happened was that his gateways were rallied to your base, and the zerglings ran past them without him looking at the minimap.
It's a pretty good explanation of it.
The zerglings have taken out the zealots, but they're now paying attention to the Templar archives without caring about their own lives.